From the auspices of Rescue Marriage and Relationship Initiative, the NGO, I bring to you today a topic that I titled Sexuality in Marriage. It might be a long one, but I beg that you create the patience to see this video to the end. I will also beg that you share the video. And if you are still single, don't take the matters that are being raised here very important. It's actually better that the issues that I raise here are being discussed between husband and wife. It's on that premise that you'll be able to heighten your understanding on the issues of relationship as it pertains to sex. So on its own, sex is always very important, but most of the time it's being misconceived. A lot of people think that the reason why they get married is for them to have sex. No, sex is not there at all. It's not there at all. And so if it is prime for the reasons why you are getting married, then you are making a mistake. You need a rethink. And so of the things that create issues in marriages, when you take away monetary issues, that's finance, the next is the issue of sex in marriage. Is it that it's going for you well and you think your spouse is not doing the best, or it's not going for you well and you think there is somebody else who is coming between you? So it's always very important that you discuss it. Sometimes I tell those who listen to me that how I wish there are schools that people will go to learn how to have sex. And so because there are no schools like that, opportunities like this come once in a while, and for those who use them effectively, it do help. It will help them. And so the act itself of sex is designed by God, created right from the beginning, and for good intentions. And people see it as being bad. There is nothing bad in sex. But the bad thing is, who do you do it with? Is it the ones that are commissioned? Because the expectations that you go into sex with when you are single is not the same expectation and the same result is going to give you if you are married. They are far, far, far apart. And so the understanding has to be there that premarital sex cannot be compared to sex in marital relationship. And if you have not had the opportunity of fine-tuning it when you are married, please pay attention to it. It is an act that has to do with two persons. I understand that there are trisom, or what do they call it now? Relationship, sexual relationship with more than two persons. You have 3, 4, 5, all together at the same time, but it's abhorring. It is terrible. It is unimaginable. And so some people will say, yes, I did it, I enjoyed it. There's nothing to enjoy there. It's terrible. Horrible. You don't even imagine it. And so it is not part of what I am here to discuss. My discussion is primarily on the marital sex in marriage. If you are single and you are still getting involved in premarital sex, please avoid it. Avoid it so that you can sustain your relationship with God and expect good things from the author of life. And so basically, the intro is what I'm talking about now. It's open, it's not selfish, it's emotional, it's spiritual. In case if you don't know, it's spiritual. Yes, so you have sex with 10 persons, you are grabbing their spiritual components to yourself. You understand? It's emotional. A lot of people go into it without the emotion. And there is no how you can have a feel of it when there are no emotions and you don't apply the spirituality. It is physical, fine. It's also spiritual. And sex is primarily needed in marriage, not outside marriage. If there is anything that you are doing outside marriage and you call it sex, please have a rethink. It's not sex, not the one I do. And there is no reservation in sex in marriage. No reservation. You won't say, okay, I don't want to do it this way, my spouse is asking for it the other way, can I go to ask somebody? No, there are no reservations. they are actually tonic and they are lubricants to marriages. Sex are tonic and they are lubricant to marriage. The act itself must be seen first of all as being mutual between couples. Mutual. I've had so many cases of people who go into it, especially the men, with selfish interests. And so when they are done, they turn the other way and they go to sleep, not minding that they had a sexual relationship with another human being. And so it must be mutual, not selfish. It can be initiated by anybody, the man or the woman. Of course, we are in Africa, we are in Nigeria, we are in a part of the world where a woman feels she's not part of initiating sex in marriage. So I am here whenever my husband wants, he comes. No, it should be available for the man and for the woman. It is not a dirty game. There's nothing dirty about it. Yes, if you have a dirty body, fine, attend to it. But sex itself is not dirty. It should not be used as a bait or weapon. Okay? It shouldn't be used as a bait. You want to have it? Okay. But go there and buy me recharge card. There are instances that I give as even of myself. And my wife, if she ever mentioned, go to the fridge and get me water. Boy, I'm out. I'm out. So I don't expect anything in exchange for sex. It's not a bait. It's not a weapon. It's not okay, if I have to do it, you do this for me or do that for me. No. And denial of sex in marriage is a gradual withdrawal of the love that sustains the marriage. And so you don't have any reason to tell your spouse, look, I am not into it today. It must be enjoyed satisfactorily among the couples. Satisfactorily, wholeheartedly among the couples. Guy, you know what happens? Most of the time, those who are coming into it are in a hurry. And so some act that is supposed to take 30 minutes, you are thinking of dashing out. You are in a hurry. There is no foreplay, nothing. Make we just do this thing, everybody they going on. No, that is not the sex that I know. It's not the one that I encourage others to be part of. And so you need to understand yourselves as man and as woman. A lot of people have this idea that all men are the same. No, sir. All men are not the same. No, ma. All men are not the same. Yes, I understand that men have penis. I understand that women have vulva. But they are not all the same. Because the people that carry it are not all the same. All men are not the same. All women are not the same. So you need to sit down as man and wife to know yourselves. Forget whatever you have read before now. Forget everything that you have experienced before now. There is a need that both of you should sit down and talk about sex with a different understanding. For the men, they are easily moved. Okay, sight, sound, and you see the man, he's jacked into it. He has had erection and he wants something immediately. No, it's not like that with women. For women, they need a lot of time to come up. A lot of time to come up. A lot of time to be part of what is happening. And so don't be in a hurry. Give her the time. If your stipulation or imagination is that it's something we can get done in 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute and I'm gone, it's not sex. Call it quickie, but not sex. And so we need to understand the variations, the differences. A man naturally can just want to push into the vulva of a woman if it's available. But that woman you want to have sex with, maybe at the car park, wants privacy. Privacy means so much to women as far as sex is concerned. They want to look to ensure that the doors are properly shut, the windows are properly shut, nobody is looking at them and so on. It's not like that with men. But you have to understand what it is, okay? And the prime target of having sexual intercourse is for you to hit orgasm, yes, climax. And so for the man, it takes him a shorter time, weak but short time, and he has climaxed and he wants to relax. But it's not like that with the women. So you have to find out with your wife, how is it with her? So if she's the one that will be able to be coming up and climaxing in 20 minutes, and you want to do it fast in 5 minutes to leave, you have not done anything reasonable as far as she's concerned. So you should be able to understand her, to be able to work very well with her. And please remember, for there to be a beautiful sexual relationship, there has to be gentleness. Man, take it easy. There has to be tenderness. It has to be done in a private place. Do the play and be patient. So if you put all this together, you have G, T, P, P, P. It has to be there. Foreplay is very important. And that's why I am suggesting that if you don't have the time for all this, please go to where you want to go to. Have sex when you can afford the time. And so there are factors that are responsible for changes in sexual urge in spouses. This one hooked me up. Yes. Be informed that as at the day I'm talking to you, I have done 20 years in marriage. 20 years. And so some of the things I'll be discussing with you, or the things I've already said, are personal experiences that, came out of me. I have experienced them. And so I know that the rush you have at the beginning of the marriage cannot continue like that till the end. There are times that you look at yourself and you say, shebi na me be this. I don't feel do anything again. And so there is a tendency that if you plot the graph of sex, it doesn't all stand up. It goes up at a time and it comes down at a time, because the urge at a moment in your life comes down. And what are the factors that bring about this coming down of desire to have sex? I'm talking now for the men. You see the orientation. How did I even start this? There are some men who, in their mind, they have been taught that everything about sex is bad, is not sacred, is not natural, and so the orientation will hinder their desire at a particular point in time. Inheritable factors, genealogy, gene things, the way it was with your father, with your grandfather, can affect you. Hormonal factors. So it's of course the hormones of the body that prompts the reactions that you have before the desire. Okay, the age itself, when your age goes up, your desire for sex comes down. It is natural. Lack of good sexual relationship with your partner can affect you much later. Fear of STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, the attitude that both of you bring into this relationship can as well affect you. Feeding and drinking habit. For those who are serious drunk, or those who eat just anyhow, it affects their relationship, it affects their sexual life. And so how do you handle this to rekindle the interest in sex when you see it going down? Maintain a good relationship with your spouse. She or he is a friend first. And do sexual education to yourself. This is the way I want it. This is the way I don't want it. It's important. Spend quality time together. Rekindle your interest. Develop healthy lifestyles. Physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It's needed. Forgive yourself for as much as you offend yourself. Don't bear grudges, because the grudges will not allow you to relate with yourself very well. Communication is important. Talk to each other. Not necessarily when you need each other. Keep talking to each other. It helps. Be creative. Whenever you want to have sex, let there be something different from the regular way you do it. Be creative in it. Extend foreplay. Spend so much time to relate with yourselves together before penetration. It's important. And so I will go next to sexual problems in marriages. And what are these problems? Nature, impotence, frigidity, vaginal pains, premature ejaculation, lack of erection. These are some of the things you'll find in marital sex or sex in marriages. It really affects those who are into it. Okay, so I will take you further to excuses given by spouses when they are called to come and work. You will imagine, for some people it's a serious work. Even there are others who might be asking for this morning, noon, night, but for others it's a work. And so what are these excuses that you hear? I'm fasting. I need time for prayer. I am weak, I'm tired, I feel pains. It's ovulation, so let's not do it so that I don't get pregnant. I am menstruating, even when they are not. Some give that as an excuse. But do you have gains from sex? Yes, there are gains. We have gains from having sex, marital sex. And what are the gains? It kills pain. Yes, it's a good way of dousing painful moments. It enhances mental and emotional balance. It improves the quality of sleep. The quality of sleep. You will even see that sometimes when some men have very good sex with their wife, they will turn the other side and in minutes, matter of seconds, they are off, snoring. So it strengthens the muscles that are involved in the sex. It enhances blood circulation because, of course, when you start the act, your heartbeat increases. It helps to loosen weight and it burns fast fats. Yes, for those who have body odor, it helps to dissipate odor. Yes, it does. So sexual dysfunctions in marriages and how to tackle them. Sexual dysfunctions. Yes, there are activities that people think is normal in sexual acts. For them, they see these things in movie, they hear other people talk about it, and in their mind it's okay. But some of them I'm going to list here, they are not okay. Bisexual. You are a lady, you fuck man, you fuck woman. It is not ideal, it's not good. Impotency, you don't have erection. Frigidity, you feel fear and pain when you hear your spouse talk about sex. Anal sex is bad. Sex through the anus is bad. Use of pornography is terrible. I wish I would get time to talk about that on a different day. And rape. A lot of people think that there is no rape in marriage. There is no rape in marital relationship. There is. Rape is actually having a carnal knowledge of a woman or a man without his or her consent. The person must be willing to give before you can consider it sex. Otherwise, it is rape. Can we do a summary of what we have discussed? Okay? Marriage is for both parties to it, and so you must take dominion. You must be in charge. It's not a matter of lording it over the other person. Both of you must be in charge. And remember that the scripture will tell us that the body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, so don't defile it. Don't defile it by trying to play Lord over it. There's nothing in it. Don't defile it. Don't give it out to somebody you shouldn't belong to. Communication is also very important. Before sex, during sex, and after sex. Talk. The world, don't forget, was created by talking, by God talking, and it can only be sustained by human beings talking. So don't keep quiet. If you don't like it the way it's done, please talk about it. Sex is a lubricant for the engine of marriage. It's important. And sex is a measure of marital relationship. And so those who are healthy in their relationship do sex every now and then. Remember, age is not a barrier. Okay, that you are in menopause does not mean you can't do sex. Find out how best to do it in that marital relationship and increase your interest. Sexual life of couples is a determinant of their commitment to themselves. Their commitment to each other is a function of how available they are for themselves. And lack of sex for a long time is an indication that the couples are not close, unless both of them agree on their own that they should be on break. Then they go on break, just like you find, as Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 5. Agreement is it. And if you do not agree, please don't suspend whatever you are doing on the basis that you can't have sex together as man and wife. Remember, my discussion here is marital sex. Marital sex, not the one you grab outside. And that outside one shouldn't be of any point of importance for discussion. If you have any issue concerning your marital sex and you think you need somebody to talk to you on it, get across to me. You will find my phone number on the screen that you're watching. If as a group you want a lead towards the best that will ensure a better relationship in marriage as far as sex is concerned, give me a shout. Let's talk about it. I'm interested. I have experienced it in my own marriage, and so I am talking not just because based on what I have experienced alone, but based on what the church teaches and based on what I have had people who I counseled say to me. It is important that you renew your marital relationship through the block of sex. I went for a conference once, I think in Abuja, and it involved a lot of group, including Catholic Women Organization of Nigeria, who had representatives from the Diocese of Kano, and the woman was saying that in their group they have agreed that they can let their husbands be if they as women can no longer satisfy their husband, so their husband can go out there and enjoy himself. It shouldn't ever come across our mind to think of that. Nobody comes between you as far as marital relationship is concerned. Sex is for two. Sex is for you and your spouse. Sex is not what you can give to another person. And just ask yourself, why is it that premarital sexes are most misconceived, most misunderstood? And what can be done inside the home, you do it outside, and with somebody whom you are having a premarital sex, it's not understandable. Okay, it's always misconceived. That is the height where people will start imagining of infidelity. The suspicion is high. And back to it again, why is it that you have never had? In case if you have had, please call me, let me know, so that I will not be living in fantasy. You may not have heard that a man died on top of his own wife. Okay, but the issue of death as a result of exhaustion from the man or the woman during sexual relationship, for those who are not joined together as husband and wife, is rampant. It's common. You find it every here and there. There was even a story of a babalawo that died on top of a pastor's wife. So why is it so? Because these are acts that you shouldn't even imagine, not to talk of going to do that. So please, If there are issues that you need clarifications on, get across to me, let us talk. But please remember, sex is for marriage. Sex outside marriage should not be contemplated at all. May God bless you. Thank you.